Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Full Court Press. And today, I'm joined by a very, very special guest. My big brother, very good friend, team manager, Uganda national team, Mr. Albert Ahabwe. Albert, you're very welcome. Please say something to the viewers.
Thank you, Vinny. Glad to finally be here. Coming in after some very interesting names. One of them a shooter, almost as good as me. So, hi, Okias. But glad to be here.
Yeah.
Always glad to talk hoops. Let's get into it.
I mean, it's an honor. I actually talked about this interview with you when you were on national duty. I remember seeing you and Gordon making a lot of noise on screen. When
that was the job. That's what we went to do.
Threatening referees, I remember.
Yeah,
I think the national team was playing and they tried to move the mics closer towards the bench, and guess whose voice was on? I don't know if someone told you about it.
I get messages from people asking you,
it was your voice.
What's with this hooligan behavior? But when Uganda is playing, common sense is limited.
I mean, you're complaining about the refs.
Yeah. Our job is to complain about the refs and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as it gets us a W.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, let's get into it. Your love for sports. You're a very, very passionate sports person. When I was in Veg, I thought you used to own UCU actually. Being honest, I thought you used to own UCU.
How?
I used to ask guys. But
I like the fact that you wish me that kind of money.
No, I'm being honest. I thought you used to own the Uganda Christian University boys team. I used to ask guys, but who's that guy who's always with the UCU team? I mean, you're very passionate.
A lot of people don't know. I'm just a fan at UCU. No, I've never had any role.
Really?
Never had any role.
Okay.
There's no official role I've ever had at UCU. I'm just the guy that's maybe hung around the longest. Also maybe the loudest.
Yeah.
But no particular role.
Nothing
just
particular.
a fan.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah.
So your love for sports, how did you fall in love with sports? Of course, I want us to go back childhood memories and everything.
I've always loved sport from when I was a kid. From primary school, I loved football. I was a football guy in primary school.
David Beckham.
Yeah, Manchester United since a long time ago. I actually liked two Liverpool players before becoming a United fan. I was a fan of Steve McManaman and Robbie Fowler.
Yeah.
And Paul Ince, who had come from United. But then the season of 98-99, I discovered Dwight York, David Beckham, Andy Cole.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes followed after that, Yap Stam, that United team.
Yeah.
So I became a United fan, and it coincided with around about the time of the
Michael Jordan
of the treble in 99.
Okay, still Manchester.
I wasn't a basketball guy for a long time. Basketball came later of all my sports. It's funny that it's the one that has stuck the most.
Yeah.
But around about that time, I went to Ntare school. Fell in love with cricket. Cricket became my main sport. A lot of people actually who know me from secondary school and know me as a cricket guy, from Ntare especially. Then, of course, football always hangs around you as an African kid because it's the number one African sport.
Yeah, very accessible.
So it's you can play anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would watch volleyball. I would play volleyball sometimes. I made an attempt at rugby. The first day I went there was the last day I attempted to play rugby.
That was in high school?
Yes, in high school. There's a guy called Rukundo Rogers.
Yeah.
They call him Gondis. He was in S6 when we were in S1 at the time. And he came into class recruiting guys to play rugby. I went there the day one. I ended up getting lifted off the ground and thrown to a place I couldn't imagine. The feelings I felt on that ground, I said,
no more.
Hello, friend. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. End of rugby. I only came back to watching rugby in my later years, and now I am a fully subscribed member of Black Pirates Rugby Club.
Yeah. One of the best in the country.
The best in the country. Remove the one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The Pirates are the best. We do everything the best. Forget about the fact that Walukuba just won the rugby sevens season, but we do every other thing better than everybody, and they know. Alongside rugby, you want to know? Check the national team, see how many Pirates players are there. We do that very well too. But so I then go to A level to a school where there was no sports. It's called Valley College. It was the biggest private school in Western Uganda at that time. It's in Bushenyi, opposite hill from Bweranyanji. And we literally took sports there. We cleaned up. There was a space in the swamp where guys used to play what looked like football. Guys from my year and the year below us, we cultivated the pitch ourselves. We started playing football. There was about 5-6 guys who were expelled from Ntare, who all played cricket. We had come with some bats and balls. We made our own stumps. We started playing cricket in the school. So we formed our own happiness when it came to sports. Then I went to UCU for university. And we used to, because you have come from the village and you have come to Kampala, or the extension of Kampala being Mukono. So you're a bunch of guys from Western Uganda schools. You walk around together because you know each other. You have competed against each other. So we had some guys from Bara High School, from Ganwa, from Ntare, who used to play football in Western Uganda, and they were really good. We get to UCU, and the UCU football team was terrible. But these guys couldn't get a chance in the team. They would come, stand at the sidelines, and they just don't let them in. They don't allow them to play, or when they let them onto the pitch, they just wouldn't give them a chance. Then one day, there was something called UTL Inter-University Games. I know you remember, where a university would come to your school and play you in all different sports. So Moobs came to school that day. Moobs, I think that was the team of Moobs that had Dan Obote from Boroboro. Deadly midfielder, made the national team at some point. At halftime, it was 4-0. UCU was down 4-0 on our own pitch. So this whole bunch of us, we are standing in one corner. About 4 of us are very good footballers. Guys are pissed off that they can't get on the pitch, and we are getting cooked on our own home ground. Some guy comes running and tells us, Mwe, while these guys are being spanked here, our basketball team is doing all sorts of bad manners to Moobs on the court the other side. That team of Moobs had Ahabwe. Dagi joined, I think, the next year. But Ahabwe of Livingstone is the one I remember. And I think Apuli.
Who's the old Moobs guy?
We all ran from the football pitch. We went to the basketball court. And true story. You remember Biggie Nyamai?
Of course.
We just found Biggie and Lukaire and Ivan Enabu doing all sorts of, Jeff Roba doing all sorts of bad things to Moobs. I think it ended like a 30-point game or something like that. That was it. From that day forward, within 2 months, it was my job to get a coaster from the guild, fill it up, bring funds to Kampala for UCU games. And since then, here we are.
The rest is history.
That's 19 years from today, 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was the start.
That's me and how I got into this
basketball.
Whole thing. Yeah. But my first memory of basketball, and I've said this to many people who have asked me before, my first memory of basketball was 1999 Ntare School Team Sprite, Stephen Omonyi. It's the first time in my life I ever saw a windmill 360 dunk. He dunked the ball so hard on that court. Mary Hill girls ran onto the court. That was the end of the game. I never forgot it. He didn't break the rim. They were good rims. Ntare had good rims. We had our Kataka surface, but the rims were really good. Really strong steel. I've never seen anything like it. He picked up the ball from the free throw line and just went twirling and swinging. Bah! Everyone ran on. Because I remember there were Mary Hill, I think Jovok, like 4 schools were there. he just made a mess. That team had him, Clinton Adventus, I think Aaron Ochamringa. Was it Aaron or Tom? One of the Ochamringas.
I think Aaron.
Yeah, it was a crazy team. These guys were athletic as hell. They were just going through every kid from all the schools that played against them. And we had these guys, Twinkle, Norbert, who was Evans Kabira.
Yeah.
These guys were stars.
Evans was good.
Yes, Evans was on our team. He was
my
solid.
goodness.
You've seen him fat now. Evans was athletic. He was quick as hell.
Evans.
First break, he touches the ball, he's gone. He was quick. Don't fall for the weight.
Oh my goodness.
He was a really good player. Didn't shoot much, but he will beat you to the rim on a fast break.
Yeah.
And he was bigger than most kids at that time. He was a big guard.
Yeah.
So that's my first memory of basketball. That's why to this day Steve is my favorite player of all
Stevie
time.
Domon.
Easy.
I was actually going to ask you a question later on about that topic.
About who the GOAT is?
Yeah.
Say no more. Easy discussion, yeah.
So let's talk about basketball in UCU. I'm very interested in learning a lot about, in getting information like from you about Uganda Christian
No
University.
insider trade secrets. We'll keep those.
Yeah,
sure.
Let's talk about basketball in UCU. UCU is, I think, the most successful basketball club in Uganda.
Consistency, yes.
Yeah, in terms of consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, some the neutrals outside, there are fans who don't really understand the game. We'll look at it in terms of trophies. I mean, no disrespect to City Oilers. Some of the stars who have been in City Oil and won them championships are from UCU. So who do you give credit to? Of course, UCU. I mean, let's talk about the basketball program in UCU. How organized is UCU as a basketball school?
Very. There's a system. It's a scholarship-based system. So obviously, the coach, well, now Nick has been doing it himself, but previously, even some of the players would suggest to the coach, because this was started by Jason Mel. The men's program started around 2003, 2004. The women's program later began with the generation of the Flavias, Frances Navlovi, Asila Celia, Brenda Mbone, Akinye Lorraine, Akelo McLean, that group. They started around 2007, 2006. 2006, because when I came, the women's team had just begun and I went there in 2006, so around 2006. The idea is go into high schools, find the best possible talent, bring it to UCU, put them through a proper growth program as a student athlete. As a student athlete, your facilitation is you have meals, you have accommodation, and you have tuition.
Yeah.
When we were there, because the university was still small, the halls were not big enough to accommodate everybody. The special arrangement for sports was that there were hostels outside, hired by the university as extension halls.
Yeah.
So it's a hostel, it's outside, but it's managed like a hall inside the university because the university has leased it.
Yeah.
And they would put all sports people in there. For the boys, there was St. Michael in Kauga, and all sports people were there. So they were housed in the same spaces mostly. And you'd go there and find all sorts of sportsmen there, but managed by the university. So the idea is go into schools, get the best talent, bring it to university, pay the bills for them, manage them as student athletes. They enforce strict discipline. They enforce strict pursuance of academic obligations. You can't be playing basketball when you're not showing up in class or getting good grades. The failure in class will keep you from playing basketball.
Wow.
Jason ensured that, the people who followed him ensured that, and now Nick ensures that.
Yeah.
So that is the only way we have managed to keep a program running for over 20 years now. And every year, now people view success differently. The Lady Cannons have won 8 championships with an existence of less than 20 years, because the Lady Cannons entered the NBL in 2007. 2007, 2006. 2006 to 7, that's when they entered the NBL. They have 8 or 9 championships. I think 8, yeah. They have 8 championships. There are teams that have been here for twice that long and have 1 or 2 at most.
Yeah, true.
But also, in those about 18 seasons, the Lady Cannons have been in the finals for about 14 or 15 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's either we have won, or at worst we are in top 3. That's Lady Cannons.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's not success.
That
what
is
is.
success, 100%.
The Cannons, they have been in the NBL since the season of 2007, because the Cannons were asked to start from lower divisions.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
they were promoted at the end of the 2006 season. Because 2006 we beat Knight Riders in the final of Div 1 to qualify for NBL.
Yeah.
So we've been in the NBL since 2007. We have never been relegated. We have missed the playoffs once. We have lost in the quarterfinals 3 times. Every other time we have been in top 4. Twice we have been in the finals and lost in game 7. To Oilers in 2015 and to Oilers in 2021-22. If that's not success, what is?
That is definitely success.
In the last 20 years, we have won the East African Inter-University Games nearly 10 times. We have won Ugandan University Games almost all the time. We probably lost once or twice. We lost KIU once in 2007, the KIU of Makmoto Rom and Abraham, who passed on. No, that time Olobo was still in Marines in 2007.
Okay.
Olobo was still in Marines with Donna, Norman, etc. Then we lost to Ndeje once, I think. That's it. Every other time we are champions of university games. East Africa and home, Uganda, because there are university games in Uganda.
Yeah.
Then there's East African University Games, FEASA.
Yeah.
But we've won almost, FEASA is for secondary schools, sorry. We've won almost all the time. So if you ask me the picture of success in Ugandan basketball, success, consistency, staying true to what a program is, it's UCU.
Yeah.
And this whole time, in all my years at UCU and post being a student and now as an alumni who keeps in touch with the team, the only time I remember a non-student playing on those teams is right now the captain, Hajara Lovi, who just graduated her master's.
Yeah.
She's done with school, but she lives in Mukono. She lives near the university, so there's no reason for her to go anywhere else. She can stay and play for the university because she's right there.
Sure.
The reason that is because I don't remember anybody else. The Sams and Sam Lukaide, that's what I'm talking about, the sports director now, and Brendan Bonnie, Akinyi Lorraine, when they finished playing, when they finished studying, they hung up. They stopped playing. Some of them couldn't see themselves playing for any other team, so they just quit.
Yeah.
But everybody else that has played for UCU has been a student. Even when Sudi went back recently, there are some things he was studying that took him back there. Yeah. And so he was still a student. For me, the reason is because UCU does not pay any other way apart from an academic scholarship. Yeah. Secondly, if you are not a student and you stay there for much longer than your school, you are sitting in an opportunity that's supposed to be for an 18, 19-year-old leaving high school somewhere. Now, the case of someone like Lovi is different. She's a leader with the team. She's been with the team. She's an additive. When Coach Nick is not there, she helps Chugui and Jonah or whoever else is there to run practice. She's senior sister, takes care of the girls. But most of the time, the idea is that when you finish studying, you leave, and that opportunity is provided to another young kid somewhere who needs this scholarship, but who also needs the facilities of 6 basketball hoops, floodlights, a gym, a dining, and a hall and library, all within the radius of 200 meters.
Accommodation.
Absolutely. The whole is accommodation. That's what I'm talking about. They are all within the radius of 200, 300 meters from each other. A football pitch with a racing track, a running track. So all those facilities are in the same space, and they're accessible to the student. Any willing mind and body that wants to grow in a sport, the best place to possibly grow is UCU, because for those 3-4 years that you are there, anything you need to grow is available for you there in one space. And that's why we are the program that we are up until this point.
I mean, well said. I don't even need to ask any other question. I mean, kudos to UCU for doing a very good job with our athletes.
Kudos to Jason for starting a monster.
Actually, I want to talk about Jason Mel next. I remember he came.
He was here last year. And we were able to celebrate him, to have a good time with him, to have conversations with him, and play about now. Outside of him being tough coach Jason, who's following up on what you did yesterday, he knows who you are with, where you were yesterday, and what you did. He had that kind of network, but most importantly, he cared that much. He cared so much that he fell ill and had to leave. The stress of the job, he was a lecturer. He used to teach foundation studies, and at the same time ran the sports department, and ended up now leaving lecturing to full-time run the sports department. So imagine having to take care of all the other sports while at the same time you're coaching the basketball teams. And it ran him crazy, and eventually he had to leave, but he stayed in touch, always sending stuff, always keeping in touch with people and their life advancements and everything, keeping in touch with the coaches and keeping monitoring the program. And it was fantastic to have him back. Most of the guys traveled in from abroad, from Kenya, from in the neighborhood to see him, to have we played a fantastic game. We played a nice game of pickup between us, the older guys, and the new players who were in school. It was fun, both men and women. 2 games, we had a really good time.
I mean, let's talk about Coach Nick. To me, I think Coach Nick is, can I say, best coach in Uganda?
Feel free to express your opinion. Nobody is going to fight you for it.
A magician, oh my goodness. I mean, what was Coach Jason's impact on Nick? I mean, Nick is successful as a coach, no doubt. I mean, we just witnessed him in the Afro Basketball Girls. That happened recently. We'll see where he took them.
I mean, for me, I'm biased in 2 ways. One, Nick is my brother. We've been together. We were in the same class at university. We both did mass communication. We just had different majors, but we were in the same class for 3 years. At that time, he was a player who was on the fringes. He didn't get much playing time, which is no knock to him, because the people who were ahead of him on the team are basketball legends. It was Ivan Enabu, it was Adams Njoroge, it was Jeff Omondi. Those were the point guards. It was literally impossible for you to get in. So then later they formed UCU JV. I think he only played there for like 1 year, and then started coaching that team. And he grew through the ranks to the point when Coach Del Scully, who had replaced Jason, left, and then Mugabe took over on the women's side, and then Mande Juruni, and then Nick took over eventually. Boniface Okelo also coached the girls for a number of years, and then Nick finally took over both teams. He's done an incredible job there. You can't pronounce UCU basketball now without
Coach
talking about Nick Natereza. He has grown incredibly as a player. As a coach, I don't know anybody in East Africa who puts as much time into basketball every day of his life as Nick does. The kids in the team used to call him a missionary because everything of his belongs to the game. He gets his salary, the players come and take all of it. His jerseys, his t-shirts, his clothes, he gets from wherever he travels or whatever, the players take everything. So he's joined at the hip with UCU basketball, and my God, he has done an incredible job. A lot of people fall through. People have a program, someone hands you a program that has everything you need, and you mismanage it to the point where it leaves you, the program crumbles under your weight. I mean, we've seen them. There's no reason why, and this is no attack to the university, but there's no reason why Makerere shouldn't be a big deal in Ugandan basketball.
That's true, very true.
They get first refusal rights on every student in the country, but they don't have a program. They really don't. I know a friend of ours, you and I, Mavita Ali, is trying to bring back the women's program, and they are playing consistently
with
now.
The Sparks, right?
Yes, with the Sparks. But this is following up to a peak they had when they had Winnie Anyango, Cheche, that group. They beat UCU in Zuku finals. They destroyed UCU in the Zuku final. Winnie Anyango shot like 10, 15 threes in that with Claire Lamono. They destroyed our UCU team in Lugogo that day. I still remember. I think this was 2015 or 2014 or thereabouts. And after that, they just plummeted. And there's no reason why they shouldn't be a big deal.
I mean, there's no
they have
excuse.
everything. They have the facilities. They have first refusal right on every student. They should be a big deal. But they are not. So that shows you even further why you should respect the amount of work that Nick Natereza and Sam, because Sam has been there. I found him there. I left him there. He's grown from a player to the sports director. Those guys have done an incredible job of keeping the UCU basketball program together, and it only looks to get better. I mean, every year, let me tell you something.
Please tell me.
Every year, this team loses its best players, its best products to the opposition. So you think about it this way. You are competing with Oilers today. You bring in a Fayed and Titus. You grow them from 18, 19-year-olds who have entered university. They study until they finish university and leave university as national team players, and you hand them straight to your opponent. The next season, you're playing them in a semi-final or final. Basically, every year, Natereza creates his own opposition and somehow still performs. Every year. For the last 19, 20 years, UCU has been doing that. We create our own opposition every year. Everyone we train, we know that at the end of 3-4 years, we'll be facing them. Last night, I was at YMCA watching JT Jaguars play against Magic Stormers. They had 11 players in a jersey. 8 were UCU.
JT Jaguar players.
Yes.
Shakira.
Sometimes they have,
Barbosa.
of the 12, they have 9. Yesterday they had Shakira out there.
Ageno.
They had Azida out there. They had Ageno out there. They had Maina Bosa. They had Annette Among. They had man, I could go on.
Begin with the coach first of all.
Of course, the coach, even the owner did a master's degree there. Jeff Nyagenya. He did a master's degree at UCU. So I said to someone that JT is UCU annex, and they wanted to kill me because it was a JT Jaguars person. I told them, you guys are UCU annex. Everybody out there is literally the only people who are on that team that are not from UCU were the Malian girl, I forget her name, number 30, Mercy Batamliza, the netballer, and Ruth Chemeriru. Everybody else is UCU. Then you talk about JKL. JKL has a slew of UCU players. They have Zaina.
Akelo
They
Hope.
have no, Akelo Hope didn't go to UCU. Akelo
Really?
went to Ndeje. Akelo and they went to Ndeje and VU. Akelo
she
and
played for UCU?
no. Akelo and Nachi Inji didn't play for UCU.
Oh, okay.
But Zaina UCU, Flavia UCU, Rita Imanishimwe UCU. There's somebody else on that team that I've forgotten. I remember. But they have Brian Namake, who is among the coaches, is UCU.
Yeah.
So we've done an incredible job imprinting UCU on the league.
Yeah.
And I pray it continues. The program continues to, because the stranglehold UCU has on women's basketball in Uganda right now reminds me of. Remember the time the Mavitas were still playing and the Babras? There was a point where every team you watched in the league, they had a minimum of 3 to 4 Nabisunsa players.
Yeah, true.
The impact Nabisunsa had on basketball at that time in the 90s and 2000s, that's what I see UCU having on the league right now. And it has stretched even in the men too.
Yeah.
All these teams that are winning, City Oil, they've had Jimmy, they've had Chuma, they've had Titus, they've had Fayed.
Yeah.
You could go on. You look at JT Jaguars, the men. They have Fadil, they have Sifuma.
The coach himself.
They have the coach himself. Everywhere you look, there's
there's
UCU basketball imprinted somewhere, and nothing gives me more joy than that.
Yeah.
There was a time in 2017, we played an Afrobasket qualifier in Cairo, in Egypt.
It was like a party.
Zone 5. At the end of Zone 5, we met outside the hotel when teams were done and were all leaving.
Yeah.
Not at the hotel, actually, at the stadium on the final day of games after they had given out medals and whatever.
So
someone just stood and shouted, UCU. Oh my God. That picture was crazy.
was
Like
from
half
Rwanda,
of the Kenyan
Burundi.
team, because that time the Kenyan team had Purity, Vilma, Anna, those guys. Kenyan team, Burundi had Keriam Furanzima. There was someone from the Rwanda team, Danny Ruigamba. Then there was half the Kenyan contingent. The UCU team at that time, that's when Ageno, Zaina, Imani had entered the team for the first time. Then you had, of course, Flavia. You had a number of other girls. Angela Namirimu, Amoding Maureen.
That's all UCU.
It was, then of course, Coach Nick was coaching at that time. That was his debut with the Gazelles. Myself. It was a massive picture. I think like 30-something people in one Zone 5 tournament of like 5-6 countries. And that for me is the picture of what UCU has done, not only at home, but in the region. And I'm super proud of that. I'm super proud of Nick and Sam and Jason and Dale Scully and all those guys that have done the work to get us to this point.
I mean, kudos to UCU and the whole management. So I want us to talk about Albert Ahabwe as the team manager of the national team. It's actually an honor to have you tonight here. You're the head
Thank you, Sam.
of all that success. I know there's
not really. There's a lot of people, man.
I mean, you're the manager. You manage the boys. Of course, there's the president. There are a lot of guys.
As a general manager.
Yeah, general manager and everything. But I've played the game. I mean, I still play. I manage a team. I know what the manager means. I mean, I know what being a manager means. And I'm here with the national team manager, Mr. Albert Ahabwe. Back then, I remember...
Over-glorified water boy.
You're not a water boy.
Hey.
I remember we used to have a very, very good team. I never really watched her. You've talked about Omonyo as being the GOAT. I never really watched Omonyo in his prime. We had ballers back then, but they never brought success like this. And many people don't know this, but management is much is important as the players on the pitch. People think it's they have good players, they're a good team. We'll talk about Manchester. I know you're a Manchester fan.
You can have all the best players in the world if they are not organized.
Exactly.
If they are not resourced, you're in trouble.
I mean, you're the team manager. Let's talk about the success of the national team.
So let me tell you how I joined the national team. But one of the
From
things,
being a fan, a soccer fan, did you see you?
One of the things that irks me is the fact that I never got an opportunity to really manage the golden generation of Ken Baliejusa, Ivan Enabu, the late Ox, Okias, Ronnie Kaseu, Norman Bleak, Stephen Omoy. I could go on. But those guys.
Yeah, Malinga brothers.
The Malinga brothers, oh my God, how can I? Robert Ndamaje, those guys. The generation of the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s, golden generation for Ugandan basketball. Now, I only got time with the tidbit end of those guys, and that is Ben, the people who had some level of longevity. Ben Komakech,
Jimmy Enabu.
Norman Bleak. Jimmy Enabu is a kid compared to those guys.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
He's close to Koma in age, but Koma is still 2 years older than him. So he's and it's funny to call Jimmy a kid. The man has played for longer than most people's lives who are in the league now. But compared to the guys I'm talking about, he's a young man.
Yeah.
And so Ben, Steve, even Ben is younger than those guys, but Ben, Steve, Norman, Henry until 2015 Afrobasket, those are the guys that carried over because of their longevity. But once we got our feet wet, and like in terms of us as management, once we got comfortable in management and started to figure out how things run, those guys were literally done. Yeah. So we had only remained with Steve and Ben.
Yeah.
Steve played up until 2019 Zone 5. No, he didn't play that Zone 5, the one we lost to Kenya, or to Tyler. He didn't play. He had got injured that time. So I think Steve's last engagement with the national team was in Nigeria in July 2018 World Cup qualifiers. That might have been his last engagement. Him and Stanley Ochiti. Yeah. They left around about the same time. So we never really got a hold of that group. But I'll tell you, to run it back, how I entered national team management. Like I said, I've not had a position. Up until that time, I did not have a position in the federation as anything, or even at UCU. I was just a fan. But I went to journalism school. I was an active journalist. And around about, I think it was 2011, 2012, there was an election around about that time, Ambrose's last term. Yeah. Ivan Tabazi became Vice President Marketing. and Communications. Yeah. And he asked me to join the marketing subcommittee of the federation. There was a subcommittee. All different vice presidents formed subcommittees to work with. Mm. And I joined the subcommittee of marketing. Now, on that subcommittee was myself, it was him, it was Charles Mutebi, Asha Komgisha, Gloria Chomgisha. But we didn't do much as a subcommittee because we had like 1 or 2 meetings and that was about it. Like people just went their separate ways. Then in 2013, Ambrose, there was a qualifier, Zone 5 qualifier for 2013 Afrobasket. It was in January. It was in Dar es Salaam. In the run-up to that qualifier, Ambrose appointed Haji, and for those who don't know, Haji is Mohamed Santul Gedi. He's the boss of Oilers. He was appointed general manager of the national team around about that time, in the run-up to that tournament. Yeah. His first thing was, I'm not going to take a team to Tanzania by bus and expect them to perform against teams that have flown there, excuse me, or that will be there prior and will have days of rest. Yeah. So he went around Kampala looking for tickets and money and whatever, and he managed to fly the team to Dar es Salaam, both men and women. That's the first time in the history of Ugandan basketball that the national team had flown from here to a Zone 5 championship. Yeah. January 2013 in Dar es Salaam. Now, myself and a number of friends, actually it was me, Gloria Chomjisha, Charles Mutebi, who was going to cover for New Vision, Dokas Vajire, who were going to just watch basketball. So we said, let's go and support Team UG. Got our own money, got our bus, a Kamba, and hit the road. Yeah. We actually found Cherabo on the same bus. We went to Tanzania. Get there the morning of game day one. Evening, the day before game day one. Yeah. Games were beginning on Monday, we got there on Sunday. Sudi Ulanga was playing for Tanzania. He was already at UCU, so he picked us up, checked us into a hotel. Next day we go to the games. These guys arrive. They arrived on the morning flight, I think like midday or something. Yeah. We had a game at 4 p.m. against Tanzania because the opening ceremony was at like 3. When the opening ceremony ended, we were playing against Tanzania men. That team had Sudi, Dibo, Dula, those guys. Yeah. We ended up beating them. Our team had that generation. Steve, that was Gombia's debut. Koma, Ikong, all those guys. Boniface Okello, Norman Bleak, had Kaseu. Pretty good team. The coaches were Gadeteu, Banis, and those guys. Yeah, no, Deke and Hamza were coaching the women. Yeah, okay. So we play that tournament. It ends. We are there with them. Tournament ends. We come back to Kampala. So I'm told later, Grace Kwizera is the one who called me. And he said, Haji, the general manager, has said he would like you to join us on the National Team Management Committee. From what he was told, Haji said, get that noisy kid from UCU that I can't stand. Because we had run-ins already. Because Haji at that time was a Warriors fan. Yeah. So they had seen me around making noise and causing some trouble. So he told Grace, go get that kid from UCU I can't stand. But he's committed. He got his own money to go to Dar es Salaam and support the team. Yeah. Get him, we need to work with him. So we had our first meeting was at Cafe Java's Chambogo, Banda. Yeah. Yeah, we went there. It was, I still remember it was Haji, Hassan Haji, Ambrose, Grace, Silva, Charles Mutebi, myself, and Asha Komjisha. So we had a good meeting. Everybody was given responsibilities. The first responsibility we were given was we go out and come up with names that are different. We didn't want to be called basketball cranes or lady cranes. Yeah. We did not want any of those names. We just wanted to get names that were different, that were for basketball strictly. Yeah. And that's how we later came up, all of us, with silverbacks and gazelles and the different things that they exemplify. Then after that, I was assigned the job of looking for talent abroad, because we realized that to excel in the region and to compete with countries like Rwanda and whatever, while we had talent at home, we also had to go out and look for Ugandan talent that was more exposed than us, that were playing at a higher level of competition. Yeah. And they were there. I had been following guys, I knew them. So it was my job to research harder, find more guys, reach out, convince them to come and play for Uganda. Yeah. And that's how this whole scouting thing was born from then up until now. Okay. My first guys to get were Josh Johnson, Kasim Nangwere, and Samuel Mukoza. Samuel Mukoza and Kasim Nangwere were in Sweden. Josh Johnson was in the UK. But at that time, he was returning from the US to the UK. Those were the first 3 guys I got. I actually remember Kasim was with us. Kasim was the first to arrive. He was with us in 20 14 January in our first trip, which was in Zanzibar, Mapinduzi Cup. It's like the Independence Cup of Zanzibar.
Yeah.
We were invited there, we went and played there, and we won that tournament. And Kasim was the first pro player to go with us. After that, then we put together a camp for qualifiers. We bring John Baluigire, Brandon Sevirumbi. The tournament was supposed to be here in July of 2014. FIBA cancelled at the last minute because Egypt and Rwanda said they were not ready. But we still believe to this date because they had how ready we were,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to play us at that point.
Yeah.
So they pushed the tournament to October and told us, if you can't host, we'll give the hosting rights to somebody else. But we had already done so many things, we had advanced so much, we couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
So we played that tournament in October. That's the tournament where Claire was MVP, where we beat
At
Egypt
Lugogo.
at Lugogo.
Yeah.
And we beat Rwanda in the men's semi-final.
Yeah.
Excuse me, to end up playing Egypt in the final, which we lost to. But no, it was actually round robin. So we beat Rwanda and finished second place. Both of us lost to Egypt. So
Yeah.
Egypt finished 1, we finished 2. We went as a number 2.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in that tournament, we missed Brandon Sevirumbi because he had signed for a Spanish club which refused to release him. But all the other guys came: Kasim, Josh, Samuel, and Johnny B.
Yeah.
Johnny B was MVP of that tournament. After that, of course, we went for both Afrobaskets, women in Cameroon.
First time ever.
Yes, men in Tunisia.
Yeah.
First time ever. In Tunisia, we finished 15th out of 16 because we beat Zimbabwe in the last classification game. But we were in the group of death. We were with Tunisia, we were with Senegal, and we were with Senegal and Nigeria in our group. And in the round of 16, we played. No, we were with Tunisia and Nigeria in our group, and in the round of 16, we played against Senegal. So 3 of the teams we played against all ended up in the semi-finals. Nigeria were the champions. Nigeria were the champions. They beat Angola. Tunisia lost to Angola in the semi-final. Senegal lost to Nigeria in the other semi-final. So we played the worst possible opponents at our first Afrobasket.
Yeah.
We got deserved beatings. We came back with a lot of lessons. The women, I think, finished, because there were 12 teams at that tournament, I think finished 9th or something like that.
Yeah.
And the climb has been steady since
Very
then.
steady.
But that's how we got into national team management.
I mean, just a quick one. I know you're the manager. Which has been your most successful year as the team manager of Uganda?
2021 Afrobasket. You have to remember, we were coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
We played the first qualifier in 2019 November in Alexandria, Egypt. We lost to Egypt on opening day. We beat Cape Verde on day 2.
Tavares.
No, they didn't have Tavares in that tournament. They had the Almeida brothers, they had the Xavier, they had all those other guys.
Yeah.
Kennedy Mendes, name it. We beat Morocco on day 3. So we finished that tournament 2-1.
Yeah.
The second window was supposed to be in February 2020. February or March? No, February. So we won in 20. We were in Alexandria in 2020, in November. Then in 2021, February, we were in Tunisia to play the second round of our Afrobasket games, because you play 6 games across 2 windows, 3-3. So the first window we go 2-1. Second window we decide, it's in Tunisia, it's unfamiliar territory, there's COVID, let's go early. and stay quarantined in one place so that we don't get sick. So we went earlier than everybody. We were there about 10 days before. Disaster happens. Towards game day, half of our team falls sick. Guys are in quarantine. They are removed from the hotel and taken to another distant place. On game day, we had 8 people. 2 of them were declared sick when we were doing the team talk before getting into the bus to go to the stadium. Guys had decided even if we are 6 of 7, we go and play. We play the games, at least we honor the fixtures and go to AfroBasket. Because we knew we already had 2 wins, they were going to be tough for everybody else. So anyway, we don't play. So we leave Tunisia disillusioned. Some people leave, some people stay behind. Coach Mande stayed behind for nearly a month, man. The qualification for you to leave Tunisia was you test negative, you get on a flight. So everyone who was negative, leave. You are guys who have stayed behind. Everyone who tests negative gets on a flight and leaves. Gets on a flight and leaves. It was terrible for some people. So we wait. We sit waiting until late June 2021. Like a month and a half to AfroBasket. We get the email from FIBA that says, because you did nothing wrong, we are giving you an opportunity to qualify. Because all other people had been determined who were going to AfroBasket apart from our group. Egypt said they don't want players, no matter what happens. If FIBA wants, we can give them a walkover, as we are not playing them. But at that point, Egypt had played 5 games and won 5. Morocco had played 5 games and won 1, lost 4. Because they beat Cape Verde in the round of games we didn't play. Cape Verde had 1 win also against Morocco. So the 2 of them were 1-4, 1-4. Then there was a Uganda that was 2-1. 3 games played, 2 wins. We already have more wins than these guys. But there are 3 games we haven't played. So Egypt refused to play us. So FIBA tells us, you have 2 games to play. You are going to travel to Morocco first. You beat Morocco, you are through to AfroBasket. With Cape Verde, Morocco is out. You lose to Morocco. Now Morocco has 2 wins. You have to go to Cape Verde and beat Cape Verde to qualify, or you lose to Cape Verde, you are out. Cape Verde qualifies. We had training camp in Cairo for a few days, about a week before that game. I still remember NASA walked into the last practice. And I'm talking about NASA Serunjoji, the president, and told all of us who needed to hear, you guys, we have borrowed money for 1 trip only.
If you lose it,
1 trip only. There will be no travel to Cape Verde. We have 1 chance. We go to Morocco, we win, we go to AfroBasket. We lose in Morocco. We are forfeiting Cape Verde, we go back home. I don't have that money, I have nowhere to get it from. In fairness to the man, he had nowhere to get it from. Him and Haji had done some miracles for them to be able to find the money that took us there. Man, I've never seen a team so focused as that day on the bus from the hotel to the gym in Morocco. Ishmael Wainwright was on holiday in the Dominican Republic. He flew from Dominican Republic straight to Morocco. You know how many connecting flights you have to get there?
A lot.
Crazy. He arrived the day before the game. We all took our tests, whatever, stayed in the hotel. Next day, Arthur Kaluma was turning 19. He was still 18, about to turn 19. We get to the arena. It's supposed to be an empty gym. It's COVID, no fans. The Moroccan Federation went and got all these people and gave them passes. Ambulance workers, sound engineers, cleaners. The gym was nearly full of people who are apparently working, but they are essentially Moroccan fans.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we beat that team. I don't think in their lives they have ever run like that. That second half was completely out of this world. Arthur Kaluma had 1 point at half time. He had 21 at the end of the game. Second half was a blizzard. We beat the lights out of those guys and went to Afrobasket. We get to Afrobasket and it's a nightmare. You remember what happened here. Fight with NCS and the ministry and whatever, because 10 days before Afrobasket we were still stuck in Kampala.
Yeah.
And at that time, the government of Rwanda had a rule for people coming from Uganda because that was Delta time.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Uganda, you get to Rwanda, you have to be quarantined for 7 days. Pass a COVID test nearly every day. Then once you get out, you can go and do your activities and whatever. So by that word, even if we left on day 10 to go, we would be in quarantine until 2 days to game day. So no practice.
Yeah.
So we were in Rwanda in quarantine for, I think they cut short the quarantine because we left with like 8 days to go. They cut short the quarantine for us to like 6 days or something. So we got out of quarantine the day before our game against Senegal.
Wow.
And it showed against Senegal.
Mm.
Ish arrived, I think, on the morning of the game or the day before the game.
Yeah.
I think the day before the game, when we got out of quarantine.
Yeah.
Ish and Adam arrived that day. So we only had like 1 or 2 practices together as a team. We play Senegal, we lose by like 28. Crashing. But we knew the quality we had in the team. Relax, go back, film, recovery, another practice. We play Cameroon on day 2. Cameroon had 3 or 4 COVID cases. So they had about 9 players. But they had their best players. They didn't lose anyone substantial.
Yeah.
We ran through Cameroon. Beat Cameroon by more than 10 points. 10, 15. Then we play a very competitive game with South Sudan. We lost by 1 point, I think 61, 62 or 63, 62. Crazy game because we are almost the same teams. We are both skinny. None of us has a monster in size.
Yeah.
They are tall, but they are our size. We are almost the same people.
Yeah.
And we play pace and speed basically.
Yeah.
Speed and athleticism. Run and gun. So they win that game. We finish number 3 in the group. We go to the quarterfinal qualifier. Guess who we are playing? Fresh from the Olympics. Seed 1 of Africa, Nigeria. Everybody wrote our obituary. Yeah. Everybody knew we were finished. Yeah. But man, our team was special. Like guys, the communication levels, the veteran leaders, the Bens. Ben didn't play much, but super veteran leadership from the bench. Jimmy, like these guys have now matured. They are at the peak of their powers, both mentally and athletically. By the first time, Mike Brown from the Golden State Warriors, he was in Golden State at that time. By the time he called the first time out, they were down like 25-2 or 3.
Disbelief.
Robinson Opong went crazy. Fast break dunks between Adam and his kid brother Arthur. We ended up smacking Nigeria and kicking Nigeria out in the round of 16. Nobody believed this. We beat Nigeria in the quarterfinal qualifier to go to the quarterfinals. We played the quarterfinals, faced the monster, Eddie Tavares with Cape Verde. Had an unfortunate incident. We had an unfortunate incident in the game against South Sudan. Dengu had got a very bad fall, and he was recovering literally in the game against Nigeria and in the game against Cape Verde, and were overpowered on size. Tavares was an impossible cover. Monster. James Okero did the job of his life, to the point that Tavares came to look for him and shake his hand after the game. But we ended up losing in the quarterfinals. finished number 6 at Afrobasket.
Yeah.
That for me is my highest point as a manager of the Silverbacks. The Gazelles in Rwanda, fantastic tournament.
Of course.
In Ivory Coast, even better team, fantastic tournament. We were just unlucky that one of our best players who had the best, one of the best tournaments ups, stepped up from 2023 to 2025, missed free throws late. So many other things that didn't happen for us from many other players, not just to single out Mel, but all the girls were fantastic. The ball just didn't bounce our way. And I can guarantee you that team is going to come back even stronger in 2027. I am telling you, the Gazelles will be a top 4 team in Afrobasket.
Of course, with Coach Nick.
Yeah. With Coach Nick, with everybody, the captains. Man, our new captains are fantastic. Axi and Asinde, fantastic leaders. That team has a group of leaders: Axi, Asinde, Melissa, Claire, the everlasting leader of the team. It's crazy. Our program is in a good place. We have so many young, the under 18 kids last year that qualified for South Africa. So sometimes, that 2021 is our glory moment. We beat Nigeria. That was the biggest thing about it. But the things that our program has been able to do in the last 5-6 years or so, there are so many things that you could call your brightest day, and it continues to get better as we go.
Amen. I mean, just a question before, our producer is telling me about the time. What does nationalizing a player mean? Is it naturalizing, sorry. So
FIBA has a rule, and I call this an anti-Africa rule. It's an eligibility rule that says for a player to play for a country, he has to have either been born in that country, or if both your parents or one of your parents comes from that country, so you have legal citizenship and roots from there. For you to be cleared to play for that country, you have to have acquired your citizenship by getting a passport before turning 16. So if you are Vini Jurua, both your parents are from the West Nile, Ugandans 311. If you were born in America and you did not get your passport before the age of 16, for you to play for Uganda, you can only play as a naturalized player. And every country in the world is allowed only one naturalized player. Now, for us, we use naturalization to get a player who has things that our players don't have. A guy who takes us over the top. That is Ishmael Wainwright, that is Brandon Davies, that is Jordan Mays. Guys who are special to the level where we don't have at home. So when we have a player who was like John Barwigire, the reason why John Barwigire didn't play at Afrobasket 2015, a lot of people have never understood it. Both he and Brandon Sebirumbi had never got their passport before turning 16, even though both their parents and grandparents and whatever are Ugandans. Imagine Sebirumbi being called naturalized. So Barwigire, John, who's everyone is Msoga. So we were told you have to make a choice between these two and use only one of them because they are both naturalized players. So that's what naturalization means. For us, we go out and naturalize a player who has something that we can't find at home. But for FIBA, naturalization is a player who does not meet the 2 conditions that I told you. So in the eyes of FIBA, there's no difference between Brandon Sebirumbi and Brandon Davis. Yet for us, Brandon Sebirumbi's whole family is from Masaka.
True.
So that is the difference in terms of naturalization. Our best case scenario would be that all our players, even those who are not born in Uganda but are born to Ugandan parents and are due citizens of Uganda, they are due citizenship for Uganda. They should work hard to make sure they get their documents before turning 16 so that they fall within the allowables of the rule against naturalized players.
Picture perfect explanation. I think we talk about now. I want us to talk about the perfect player. You've been around the game for very long. You've seen players. When you've talked about the GOAT, I just hope you don't put Steve in all the categories.
No.
Okay, let's go to speed,
Ken Variejusa.
strength,
He's one of the strongest guards I've ever seen, but Ox was strong as hell. Yeah. Ken Variejusa was one of the strongest guards I've ever seen.
Which Ox are you
But
talking
Big Ox, the power forward,
The
the
left
one at Big Ox, Isaac Afidra, two of the strongest players I've ever seen.
I need one.
Ox,
Ox, okay. IQ,
Norman Bleak. Norman Bleak and Ben Komakech. I struggle.
pick one.
But Norman Bleak.
Okay, handles, the dribbles and everything.
Ivan Enabu.
Passing ability,
Awel Enabu.
I will enough.
Yes.
Okay. Defense,
Defense. Brian Namake.
Brian Namake.
Yes.
Shooting,
Ben Komakech.
attacking mindset,
Stephen Omonyi. He's coming to kill you and everybody you came with. You know what time it is when you see
I
him.
know,
You
it's
know.
like
Yeah.
fair play,
Fair play. Jimmy Enabu. I've never seen anyone who has a problem with Jimmy.
okay.
Everybody loves Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sixth man,
Sixth man, Adams Njoroge. UCU. Yeah.
utility player,
Utility player, a guy who could do everything on the floor. He's still Norman.
no man.
Yeah.
Then lastly, leader on the team,
Leader on the team. Leader on the team. Captain America.
Tell people who
Two
Captain
people.
America is.
Two people. Captain America and Claire Lamuno. Those two are the
People don't know
best.
who
lead-
Captain
Captain America is Steve Omonyi. Nobody else. Number 12. Yeah,
No,
Steve and Claire.
and
The
Claire.
best leaders I've
Okay,
seen
I'll
in
take those two.
Ugandan
I'll take those
basketball.
two.
Yeah.
So now let me put you on the spot now.
Yeah.
Quick fire.
hmm
Norman Blake, Stephen Omonyi.
Steve.
Komakech Ben, Ivan Enabu.
Ben.
Henry
Ben
Ma-
for longevity.
I
Is-
don't
is-
want any explanation.
I'm giving you one. Yeah.
Henry Malinga, Ochiti.
Ooh. Stanley Ochite.
Ken Balyejusa and Chati.
Ken. I never saw Chati play.
Okay,
I
next.
played with him pickup in Wazei, but I saw a bit of Ken at the end.
Okay.
Man, he was something.
That was dangerous. Kaseu, Joseph Ikong.
Oof. That's tough. I'll tell you a story about Joseph Ikong, but man, Ronnie Kaseu could play 1-4. Kaseu.
Kaseu,
Tough.
Isaac Afidra, Carlos Olaka.
I didn't see Carlos at all, so Isaac Afidra any day. This guy is still playing in the league 25
Yeah,
years
he's
later.
scoring 20
Isaac is crazy.
Now on the spot again,
Yeah.
Ishmael Wainwright, Brandon Davis.
Woohoo! They are very different players, but Ish has done more with Uganda.
Okay.
Done more, hung around longer.
Okay.
So Ish Wainwright.
Please don't use longevity as the next.
It is
Jimmy
important.
Nabu, Tony Dreleba.
That's tough. That's tough. Those two are my guys. Man, Jimmy. Jimmy is.
Longevity.
Jimmy has more championships than fingers. He has more championships than
Power.
fingers. He needs toes as
City
well.
Oil, I believe
Yeah,
they get
and he
one.
played for UCU.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Tony, you didn't play for UCU. That's why.
Okay. Desmond Owili and Karaoke.
Desmond Owili, anytime and twice on Friday.
Apologies.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
Put you
yeah.
on the spot.
Uh-huh.
Martin Okwako, Eric Malinga.
Woo! Mato played for me for a long time, but Eric is one of the greatest players Uganda has ever had. So Eric Malinga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sudi Ulanga, Judo Chen.
Sudi, anytime, any day.
Okay. Lugude. I mean, this one is not fair. And Olobo. It's not a good.
Lugu they
comparison.
played for the national team.
So-
Is
Olubo also played for the national team.
I don't remember him playing for the national team. When?
Olubo played for the national team.
That must be before I came to Kampala. But Lugude 2009, 2011, 2013, and 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronnie
And he had
Kalule.
championships, many
Yeah,
championships.
Ronnie Kalule or Coach Sande?
Pipes was a UCU guy. I'll go with Okot Sunday any day. That's my guy. But Ronnie was a bowler.
Of course.
Bowler.
I mean, I'm tired of putting you on the spot. I think we're coming to the end.
You're not going to say anything about the ladies? It seems it's strictly about men.
We'll
Okay. No worries.
I mean, before
Yeah.
we close, something smaller to the viewers outside there. What do they expect from the national team, development of Ugandan basketball, and to the kids outside there who also want to play basketball?
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Ugandan basketball fan. For the longest time, we've been on the periphery of especially hosting international tournaments, and not only at the seniors level, but at the grassroots level, under 16, under 18. And our youth teams have done very well recently.
Yeah.
You see how happy we all were in that tournament of the under 18s. We know what we have had coming up. Our girls last year went to South Africa and nearly made it to the under 19 World Cup. Lost to Nigeria in the semi-final. Close call. I think it was 3 or 4 points. So we have a lot of talent coming up. But most importantly, we have now entered a space where the government is sinking money into sport. And I want to thank two people, Ambrose Tashovia and Honorable Peter Ogwang. Honorable Peter Ogwang is super modest, and he says the thanks should go to his boss, the First Lady, the Minister of Sport and Education and Sports, the Senior Minister, and the President, of course. But the government, those two, I say those two because they are the representatives of the big people. They are the ones I reach, Ambrose and Mr. Honorable Ogwang. We are in a time now when those guys have invested money in sport, and we are getting arenas of international repute, where we are now going to be hosting the world and the region again. Because gone are the days when we had a Blink and all these regional tournaments at YMCA and whatever. Those days are gone. People want to play in international caliber facilities. Now we are getting them. Hoima is almost finished. Akibwa is being done, where they are building this stadia for AFCON. They are building indoor arenas also for us, basketball, volleyball, netball. They are going to, I'm told they are going to build at Nambole, but most importantly, they are going to build a massive 15,000 seater at Lugogo. We can't wait for that project to begin. But when that project begins, it is going to find us ready. It is going to find us at a time when Ugandan basketball is booming. I mean, our ladies under 23 have just come back from the World Cup 3-on-3 in China. So we are going places. We are participating in international competitions. We are competing on the continent, and the sky is only the limit from here. So take your time as a fan, come to the games, support the game, support your friends, relatives, partners, colleagues, classmates, schoolmates, people who play in these leagues. Come and support them. Women's basketball is in the semi-finals right now, while we wait for Namuongo to come from Rod to Bal and then play the men's final against Oilers. There's so much to see in Ugandan basketball. Lend us a hand. If you have money to invest in the sport, bring it to the sport. But as a basketball fan, as a basketball administrator, as a media person that covers basketball, I'm super excited for where we are and where we are going. And I look forward to sharing that joy with you if you come to basketball.
That's it.
Yeah. But thank you for this opportunity also to talk hoops and share the knowledge we have amassed over the years with people. These platforms are important. They are important to spread good stories about the game, to put awareness in the face of people. Because our game is young, yes, but it has very many opportunities to put Uganda on the map internationally, and we can only tell people the good things that are happening on platforms like this. So I'm super glad for you as a former and current player. You are approaching Wazei. Tuesday and Thursday we are there. You are welcome. You're already there. But also as a person who is now in management and in media productions, it is always nice that our own can tell our stories themselves.
Sure.
I like it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, my guy.
Well, thank you. I mean, Albert, I also want to thank you for coming. I mean, it was not easy getting you. You're a very, very busy man. Today morning when I woke up, I was still doubting.
Nah.
Actually called one of my bosses to call you personally.
A promise is a debt.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming. To the viewers outside there, thank you for being with us. Do not forget to subscribe. Kawowo Sports. I guess I'll see you next time. Have a good night.